According to the World Health Organization, strong economic growth will help reduce poverty, with 80% of the world's population in rural areas. But as Africa's population expands, estimated to reach 2.5 billion by 2050, the region faces a critical challenge of creating the foundations for long-term inclusive growth. Many countries still contend with high levels of child and maternal mortality, malnutrition, and most health systems are not able to deal effectively with epidemics and the growing burden of chronic diseases. Well, these challenges call for renewed commitment and accelerated progress towards universal health. The health agency believes that the primary reason for investing in universal health care is a moral one, and it is not acceptable that some members of society should face death, disability, ill health, or impoverishment for reasons that could be addressed at limited cost. Well, joining us to talk more about this in our Lagos studio is Dr. Jonathan Dangana. He's a lecturer at Babcock University, the Department of Public Health, also a technical advisor, Africa Health Agenda International Commission. We'd like to thank you for joining us on the program.
Thank you for having me.
All right. First, is universal health care coverage, is it possible in Africa?
It is. Thank you for that question. Universal health coverage is a reality and is achievable in Africa if we will have what I would refer to as concerted effort to see that it's a priority for all of us. So it's more or less how much you prioritize it, and then it becomes what becomes achievable. Yeah.
So another question is, does the coronavirus set us back or push us forward to achieving that?
I think from that level to which I have been opportune to function at the African continent on the issue of COVID-19 and also universal health coverage, COVID-19 has brought a new dimension, which possibly in the planning and in the thinking of universal health coverage we didn't think about. So there is actually a plus side of it, meaning that it has helped us understand that if we had solutions, then we need to start thinking of what happens if something we didn't envisage comes to play. And that is what coronavirus has brought before us. But that being said, it has not brought a setback for us. I see it more like an eye-opener for us to be able to make our effort more concerted, and then we have more strategic plans as to how we need to achieve what we have to.
But, and that is looking at, you know, the broader continent of Africa. In Nigeria, we have our teething problems.
Yeah.
There's the strikes every now and again. There's health workers, immigration, and there's brain drain. I mean, it's a mixed bag. So, I mean, what are we doing to get this right?
You know, this is a rude shock or a rude truth that I always love to shy away from. Brain drain is on the increase. You know, when you check the statistics of the British government today, you will realize that just in the year 2020, there are almost about 8,000 Nigerian doctors who have moved to the US, to the UK. Okay. And if you compare that statistics to what we had by the year 2006, we had barely about 2,000 people. And by the year 2017, or 2016, you only had about 246 Nigerian doctors who have migrated. But just by the year 2020, you know, between 2019 and 2020, you had about 10,000 doctors. And that leaves us with more problem. You know, so it's like you were thinking of, I had a tuber of yam to be able to take care of a family. And now the tuber of yam, you are actually left with a slice of yam. And then the number of people who need that same slice of yam has not changed. But the quantity of yam that you need has actually changed. So we need to go back to the drawing board as a country and as stakeholders in various facets, both in the academia, both those in policy. I think it's high time we need to sit down and think of some deep-rooted questions as to why all of this is happening.
The questions on one hand, the same COVID-19 brought about governments crying for more money, saying there isn't so much money. So essentially, is this practical, this universal health coverage? And this is as the WHO is warning, how a lot more people are entering poverty and spending more for healthcare.
Yeah. You know, the reality is that if we do not take action, more Africans, and permit me to contextualize it, more Nigerians will be pushed below the poverty line. You know, we have more people on the poverty line. And if we do not do what we need to do, more people will be pushed below the poverty line. So that leaves us with more societal problems. That leaves us with more societal ills that we may not be able to have all the apparatus that we need to be able to address all of these problems.
I'd like to appreciate your time. Thank you so much.
Thank
Dr.
you for having
Jonathan,
me.
a lecturer, Babcock University, Department of Public Health. Thank you for joining us on the program.
Thank you so much.
We have more on the COVID-19 update when we return. Please stay.